Welcome back. In this video we're going to take a brief exploration into units and scale, as well as talk about some basic formats for text. These two topics tie together because the text will ask you how high you want to draw something, and you need to have some idea of how big the screen is. AutoCAD works in an infinitely large field, and the more we zoom out, the smaller objects get. When we first open up AutoCAD, it will look at what machine it is installed in. And these machines that you're working on all have AutoCAD installed in the United States, where we use feet and inches. The basic unit for AutoCAD then, by default, is an inch. It's not that you can't change it. It's just that AutoCAD has to start with some unit. The way to sort of discover this is to type the command for units, UN, enter. And this will bring up our Drawing Units dialog box. Now what you see here is that lengths are measured in decimals, angles are measured in decimal degrees, and the insertion scale is set to inches. That means that if something is 1 inch long and you insert it, it will be 1 unit long, 1.000. We're not going to change anything in here right now. I just wanted to show where this information comes from. Just click OK. Let's draw a rectangle that we can use as a frame for our text. Here we go. REC, enter. I'm going to start my rectangle at a very specific location. 0, 0, enter, and I want it to be exactly 8 units tall and 8 units wide, so I will say 8, 8 as my second point. Enter. So this rectangle is exactly 8 units tall. Now if you have been zooming in or out, you may see the rectangle like this, or you may see the rectangle just like this. In order to see the whole thing, remember, zoom extents. I'm going to double click the mouse wheel. There we go. I'll scroll back 1 notch, and then I can see my 8 by 8 rectangle. It's a frame of reference because in just a moment I'll draw some text in there. Up in the annotations panel, we can see that there is a button called text. I can click that button and I will be given multi-line text. I can also drop down and do single line text. For simplicity's sake, I'm going to start with single line text. I can see that the keystroke input would be TEXT. So instead of clicking the button, I can also just type TEXT. Enter. It asked me for a starting point. I want my text to be exactly in the middle of this square. How can we accomplish that? There's no OSNAP for center point of a square. However, there is an OSNAP for geometric center, which is wonderful. And if I hover over this object, I can see that immediately there is an indicator in the middle of this shape, which allows me to find that OSNAP. It even prompts me, it says geometric center. And I'm going to click directly on that point as my starting point for my text. The text height defaults to 0.2. Well, 0.2 compared to this overall unit of 8 by 8 square is going to appear pretty tiny. So what I'm going to do instead is change my text height to 2. Enter. The next thing it does is ask me for a rotation angle. And I'm going to say that I do not want to have any rotation angle. Make it go horizontally on the screen. 0 is good. It's in the brackets. You know what to do. Hit enter. Now it asks me what I'm going to type. I'm going to type the number 101. Hit enter once and it goes to the next line. Hit enter again and the command is complete. Now you're thinking, wait a minute, that text was supposed to be in the middle of this square. What I need to do is make some adjustments. In order to see all the things I need to about this text, I need to show its properties. Remember, you can type out the word properties, you can type just the word prop, or you can do Control 1 to bring up your properties window. Once the property window is up, selecting this text tells me many things that AutoCAD knows about the text. Color, layer, line type, etc. It also has a series of information here that shows me the contents, the style, the annotation, justification, height, all of these things. I can adjust any of these settings to change my text. In this case, what I'd like to do is change the justification. Instead of left, I'm going to change it to middle center. When I do that, you'll notice that it realigns itself. This little blue dot in the middle is a grip for the text. You've noticed these before on other objects. They have specific relationships to the objects, and in this case there is a point on a text object known as the insertion point, and that little blue dot relates the object to its justification. If I wanted to change the height, I could do that as well. 3, 1. Now there's no unit indicated in the properties window right now, but I know that if I were to print this at full scale, that little 101 would be exactly 1 inch tall. If I were to change this to 3, it would be exactly 3 inches tall. I'm going to hit escape to release that text.